Relative Utensil.
Hi everybody and welcome to Inside UX UI. My name is Danny and it's been a while since my last video, but now I'm back with another one. So today I would like to rebuild a site which I found during a research for another project, and I don't know yet how I will do it, but I will certainly figure out a way how to achieve the same which I found there. So I think this is pretty interesting and also fun to do it, so let's get started. Okay, so this is the Mercedes-Benz Lifestyle Configurator website, and it has these three parts here, three equal parts, and it will expand and shrink on mouse over or mouse out. And it also has this little gradient here and a button, and you can click on it and it expands to full size and puts in here these tiles which you can choose, and then it will go through a couple of questions here, and at the end it will propose you some car models that you could buy. So I wanted to rebuild this, and I ended up in my first test with something like this. It's also 3 parts, and you can hover it and it will expand and so on. Now, these are plain color here, and something completely different because you don't have just plain color to expand, but images. And images, they will get squeezed and don't look good if you try to do the same thing. So I tried to rethink about this and ended up with actually dynamic panels. But first of all, I will prepare all the image assets that I need, and I already imported here the images I have. This is Boris here. Boris is a cute little cat from a friend of mine, and yeah, totally sweet. So let's export these. We have JPEG, quality middle, that's fine. So name this as middle. This little guy will be our right one, and this one yeah, what the heck, this is our left guy. Okay, so we have this ready here, and let's create another site here. Just call it home. Now we drag out here a dynamic panel, and I'll place this at 0, X and Y position. 0. And let's make this 1260 by 778. And we call this left. Double click and pick your left image here and paste it in. What's happened here? Now it's the right size. And close this, and just to show you again what I meant before. So if you have dynamic panels here, you can grab a handle here, for example, and then move it here along the X and Y axis, and you can see it will crop out the portion here where the handle is, and we will use this effect for this sliding parts thing here. So if you would do the same for just without dynamic panel, then you can see here it would just squeeze the image, which we don't want. Okay, so we make the part here 460, no, 420 actually, because 3 times 420 is 1260, and we copy this 2 times, and of course we rename this to right, middle, and we want to double click this, remove the image, and place in the one we want, like so, the right one, like so. Okay, so we have these 3 images here in place now, and what we want to do is to highlight the first tile here, go into properties, and search for probably a mouse hoover. And a mouse hoover, we want that the size of this left image here goes to 420 to 620. And we have an anchor point here of top left, that's fine, and a swing animation. And the middle part, we remove 100 pixels, go from center, do the same animation. And also here we remove 100 pixels, top right anchor, and swing animation. So we should end up again with 1260 pixels wide. Let's click OK. And we copy this because we need to look for the other event here. So we have on mouse hoover, and on mouse out we could just paste it in here, and just change the values here again to 420, here too, and here too. Okay, so let's see what we have here. Okay, we have the sliding thing here, but there's 2 things missing. First of all, we need the anchor here to be not center, but top right. And then we need also to move the middle part a little bit by 100 pixels, and we will use the same animation here. And on mouse out we need to do the same actually, and we will move it back. So minus 100, swing, okay. Let's see. Okay. All right, so we can move on to the next tile, and I just copy this over here to the middle part, just to simplify things. So on mouse hoover here, we want to actually set the middle section here to 620, and here back to 220. And we also need this time the center anchor here, and remove this one. We don't need the movement for in the middle section here, so remove it. 420. Here, go back to center. It should be fine. So this was the first. This is the second. Okay. And of course, we can do the same with our last portion here. We need to, of course, change the size. 20, the middle part will be center, top left. Now we will need the movement here. So let's say it will be minus 100. And over here, we say plus 100. And all back to 420. So let's see what we have here. Needs to be a little bit more, actually. So it's 150. Minus 150. No, that was too much. 250, 150. Like so. Okay, that seems to work. So that's the first part, actually, of our little sliding parts tutorial here. And now we need also some gradients here. So let's drag out here a box and make it the same size as we have, as our picture is. And the fill, we want to go from solid to a linear gradient, and we change this to black too, but we set the opacity back to 0. And maybe move this handle here, like so. And this will be our left gradient here. Just copy this and paste that in at all the other parts too. Don't forget to rename this like so. And now we have to handle this, of course. We have our properties, and we will also change the size here of our left gradient to 620, and the same animation here. Oh no, this is wrong. It's 420. And here 620. Same animation. Let's test it out. Okay, this works too. So I will do the next two because it's just probably not so interesting for you. It's just the same thing as we did here. And I will come back after I did it. So now what I also forgot to do is to remove the opacity on mouse over, because the other two parts will be still with the gradients, but on the expanded side, the expanded tile, it should be removed. So I also did this, and I just did it by just adding here a set opacity, a rate gradient, and I choose the linear animation with half a second's duration, and on mouse out it goes back to 100%, and here it goes to 0. All right. Okay, so what we now also could do is, of course, adding the buttons here. And for this, we just double click here, drag in a box, and we make this 200 by 50. And let's position this in the middle, maybe something like here. 560, maybe a bit less. 600. Okay. All right, so this will be our outline button here. So remove the fill and go with the white text here, and we'll probably use some other font style here. And we say what the heck, see a cat. And we just right click this and convert to a dynamic panel, and we name the panel itself the left buttons, and this state here is our outline. And now you want to duplicate this by hitting this button here, and we say our filled. Copy this, and this time we want to remove actually our border here, go with a solid background, and what is this? Okay. So what we also could do is adding actually because this is such a cute guy, I want to use a emoji here, and I go with this one. Nice. Should also change text here. See, Boris, then the name of this cat is Boris. Okay. Cool. Now we go out here, and we're back on the first tile, and we go to mouse hover, and we add that when we are mouse hover our panel state here of the button, of the left button here, should be filled. And we do this by a little fade animation on mouse out. Of course, we want to go to the outlined button again by fading this out. Let's see what we have. So there's our button here, and on hover it goes, yeah, it changes, but something is missing here, so the button should move actually to the center. And the way we do this, you could actually just say, hey, to add the move right here, and we say the left button should be 100, and let's stick with the linear animation here. And if it goes back, we need to move also our left buttons here by minus 100 to the linear animation here. Let's check it out. Okay, that seems to be the right position here. All right. So again, I will pause the video here and do all the other ones because it's actually nothing more than the same stuff repeating, and I come back afterwards. Okay, so I'm back with all the buttons, and there's one thing is missing here. So if you click on a tile here, let's say on the middle one, it will expand full size. So this is something we also could do, and yeah, let's do it. For this, we need to make another asset. I want to make the same blurry effect here. Unfortunately, we can't do this with Axure, so I have to apply a filter, and I will go with the Gaussian blur here, and this is about, yeah, just about so. And I will add also another layer here, black layer, and turn down the opacity like so. Okay, now I export this, and we say this is our middle blur like so. And now we can use this, and we will do this by there's several ways to do this. I guess we could just import this image here, position this at 0, 0 position, and just hide it out for now. We also need to give it a name. So that's the background middle blur. And now we can add an on-click event here. And the first thing we want to do is we want to show the blur image here. We can fade this in here and bring it to front. That's the most important thing. And set the size. We want to expand this, the image beneath, to the whole width of our browser window. And we go from center and make linear here. Okay, so let's see what we have. Refresh the site. And if we click on the button now, we'll move and go away. And we have our blurred out image in the background. I think this is it for this tutorial. Our own lifestyle configurator here. We stopped here at the blurry background, but now of course we could also add these tiles here where you can choose from or make specifications. But I will stop here, and if you would like to know how we could bring this further, just let me know, make a comment, and we will see what I can know. And yeah, subscribe, and see you next time. Bye bye.